Hi, it's Dean from Showreel Mastery. And what I wanted to talk about today is a bit of discussion on the on-set workflow. What do we do when we get on set? How do we actually work on set? I remember when I was making, short films, when I was an actor, years ago, when I was starting out, just tiptoeing into a position behind the camera. I was feeling this incredible anticipation and kind of nervousness as well about the process of working on set. And it can be intimidating. But like anything in filmmaking, the only way through a process is to break it down into small pieces and then deal with each piece bit by bit. It can be tempting to try and do everything at once, and as we know, when we're doing everything at once, we rarely do any specific thing all that well. The first thing that I always like to do with actors is to have a read through. Sometimes this will happen in rehearsal before you get onto set. Read through the script together and discuss it. And you've done all this director's preparation, so you can bring some ideas to the process. But really the most interesting and important thing will be what the actors say and how the actors respond, of course, to the script. And it's a really good idea to take on the ideas of other actors, your scene partner. If you're directing other actors, speak to them about the scene and try and come up with decisions as much as possible as a team. The next thing that we're going to do on the set, always the best kind of first moment to shoot is the block through. And for the first run through, maybe it's interesting, maybe it's useful for the actors to explore the space themselves. Maybe it's interesting as a director to see where the actor's intuition takes them. But at a certain time, the director needs to say, okay, we're going to start here, we're going to move to here, we're going to move to here. Okay? So the director at some point has to block the scene, even if that blocking is inspired by some of the choices made by the actors in some form of rehearsal. And the reason why directors have to make this decision is because a film set is a very technical place, and the camera operators need to know where the actors are going to stand so that they can set up the shots. When you're shooting your own showreel, of course, you need to anticipate where the scene is going to move to so that you can make sure your camera is in the best possible position. It's very nice if you've got other people who you're working with on set to show them the blocking. And when you get to the stage of where you might be working with a camera operator, for instance, obviously really crucial, the director and the camera operator are always going to look at the block together, and then it's very nice to walk around the set and actually visualize the shots. If an actor moves into their position, you actually stand in the spot where the close-up will be taken from. And of course, it's only when you get into the spot where the camera is going to be on the day that you can really assess whether the shot is going to work. So now that we've blocked the scene, then of course we can go about lighting our set. Now, here is where it's really important that your scene partner is able to help you. If you're the one lighting, they need to be able to stand on the different marks while you light them. And of course, they might even need to stand in for you if you are kind of doing this as a one-person band and you are, lighting a scene where you are also the main acting talent. Once we've lit the set, we're going to frame it up. That is to say, we're literally going to point the camera at the actor and we're going to see how it looks. And of course, if the actor is us, we may well have to put our camera on the tripod, jump into the frame, record for a little bit, and then look back at the frame. Or even better, we might have a small monitor that we can see from the position, such as, for instance, an app. These days there are so many apps here. I can see this little frame here of you can get one of these and you can see your own frame. Once we've set our frame, we're going to look very carefully at the frame. We're going to run our rehearsal on camera, and we're really going to be asking ourselves, what is it that we can do to improve the frame? There's usually something. It could be that the background is a little bit messy, could be cleaned up. It could be that the lighting is maybe a little bit harsh or a little bit dark. It could be that there's a piece of set dressing that's just annoying, It could be any number of things. Maybe the shot's not tight enough. Maybe it's a little bit too wide. There's always something that we can do, and it's in this early rehearsal stage where we're critiquing the frame and trying to list off improvements that we can make. Once we've made these adjustments, of course, it is time to shoot the first shot. This is a process because we'll be doing multiple takes and we'll be evolving things so that, every time we're doing a take, we're actually improving incrementally. There'll be two kinds of improvements generally. There'll be production improvements, camera improvements, that sort of stuff where we can physically go in and play with the space to make improvements. And then of course there are performance improvements. And there are always ways in which we can improve performance. And if there aren't ways that we can improve performance, there are certainly ways that we can change performance to give ourselves more options in the edit and more control over how we tell the story eventually. Keeping in mind, of course, that films ultimately are written, created in the edit. So of course, this is a process that we repeat. We will block a scene, frame up a scene, see it on camera, improve the scene, shoot a take, improve upon that take, improve upon that take, keep improving until we feel that we've got the best that we can out of a particular shot. Mindful of our schedule, most of us would love to just keep shooting forever, long into the night, but we know this is not possible. So we do have to make sure we bring our shoot in on time. But it is that process of continually setting up shots, criticizing shots, iterating and improving that, of course, is really the meat of the filmmaking process. Now, if you'd like to see this process in action, then there is a very interesting workshop that we've done where we literally take a script from reading it for the first time right through to wrapping it and then through into post-production. And of course, you find all of this in the short course Showreel Mastery. And if you're an actor who would like to develop filmmaking skills and come out with a professional showreel that you've made yourself, often using tools that you probably already own, then of course Showreel Mastery might be the course for you. I would love to see you in the course. We also have got group coaching, private coaching, and a really fantastic online community where students can put their work and have it critiqued by me and other community members. Enrollments are open. If you would like to join Showreel Mastery, I would certainly love to welcome you. I'll see you in class.